We're going to have to bust around so many more slot movies. What movies can be a really overall and creative movie? I don't know. He did Dumb and Dumberer, which is a prequel without any of the original actors and basically straight to DVD sequel. But I'm going to talk about two movies today. Dumb and Dumber was an another amazing creative Jim Carrey movie. It was just so funny, so stupid, about a man who is dumb and his friend who is dumber finding a suitcase, trying to give it back to a woman. That's what the whole movie's about. But then, 2015, 20 years, almost exactly, after the original, they made two. And yes, these films are so similar in structure, but yes, I'm going to cover them in the same video. And I love Dumb and Dumber and Dumb and Dumber 2. Because how do I explain 20 years going past without a deep, overarching story? The man's depressed after, woman. After the love of his life. He didn't love him. Or whatever it was. I've forgotten exactly. And it just opens up. Been 20 years. And frozen, he can't move. And he's been opening every day. He goes back there every single day to try and help him. And it's so sad. It's like he's lost his friend because he's completely paralysed for 20 years. And he's spent the best years of his life doing this. And then he's just like... And the other guy just says, I need a kidney transplant. Do you know how to help? He's like... And then it's just like... And he's like... I've got you! What? You should even look on your face. What do you mean? I was faking it the whole time. It was like 20 years. You spent the best years of your life doing one joke. Uh-huh. And you were faking it the whole time? Uh-huh. That's so amazing. And I found that bit so funny. And he just had like a really long, comically great bit. It's like, got you! And I was like, and then they spent the entire movie trying to get a kidney by going to find his child, who's now grown up to be like 23 years old. Apparently was a character in the first movie before when the first movie was made, like canonically. And apparently they have a child, and then they need to go and find the kidney to that child, because he needs to, that guy needs, he needs a kidney transplant, he does. It's sad, but, because he needs a kidney transplant, he goes and gets one. But he can't, because he needs apparently someone from his own bloodline. And then he finds out his parents were adopted. He's adopted by his parents. Parents aren't the real parents there. And we're like, oh, jeez. And when they find that out, he's like, oh, that hurts. But then he finds out he has a child, and they go and try and steal kidneys from his child. And then it turns out they got into a plot where a child was adopted by his child was adopted by a family who she's now a scientist speaking for her dad, and then like they try and get into a convention to steal her, kidneys, and then the other person who apparently had with Lloyd, not Lloyd, the other guy. Then they end up finding out about like a big scheme to try and kill him to become a multi-millionaire, and then accidentally kill the guy because a train blows him up while he's recovering from the damage of a bomb. And the other two survive, and they're just like, and they're like, you see £1 million, this is like a £1 billion gift. And he sent it as a joke because someone put in like something that kills someone inside someone's drink. And it was like, this is a sequel, and like, what? It's just as bonkers as the first one, if not more. And when we get back, the puppy van's for like 4 minutes, and then it just breaks down. It's still like a van. I know. And then at the end, when they're like, wait, so it wasn't our child, but we had with you. And she was like, no, you didn't. And it's like, yeah, we played with your, And then she's like, that's not what is. And then she's like, I'll tell you what it is. And she whispers it to him. And we're like, oh, God, that's so good. Oh, that's gross. And then they just like, and then they have no idea what left to do because they're like halfway across America. Their apartment, their cat has killed hundreds of parrots, and it is just such a stupid film, just like the original, and I love it. Both of them are so funny, and the way they explain it. And the thing is, it turns out with kidney transplant, he never needed it. He got you. He's like, you see it. After Lloyd, the other guy, all he got his kidneys taken out. And apparently he was scanned out of his kidneys. They stole his kidneys and gave him a pork chop. He was so dumb, he didn't realise they gave him a pork chop instead of one of his kidneys. So, and it just ends like, what are you going to do now? I have no idea. And it's just such a stupid movie, and I love it. Classic Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey started to have a comeback. This was one of his first film of what I call Jim Carrey's comeback. Dumb and Dumber 2. 2015. Then 5 years later, he was definitely making movies around this time. It was, 2009's Yes Man. From the late 90s to like the late 90s was like when he peaked, and then like stopped being popular until and was still making movies, but until like 2010, and for like 12 years, and for like a decade, he was only making small roles and stuff, and was in an episode of Sesame Street or something like that. And then made Yes Man, and then made Dumb and Dumber 2, and made like one other movie. Was it like 2012? Something like that. Got that. And then made Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and he's making 3, and Jim Carrey making a comeback. I don't think he's ever going to make another movie after Sonic 3, because he's nearly 70 now. But, those two movies, add on to a pile. Okay, how many more movies has the boss managed to get now? I don't know. How many more movies have you managed to add to a pile of uncreative, terrible movies? Oh God, we're losing by an absolute mile and a half. Also, of uncreative movies, I need to find some more. Don't I?